Welcome to Empowering Seniors. I'm your host, Katherine Ambrose. Today we're meeting Phil and Shelley Davis with Harmony Home Concepts. Phil Davis is a certified aging in place specialist, and I've known him for quite a while, and I'm so happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Well, again, thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
So I met you knowing that you do modifications, you do shelving and things in people's homes so people can age in place. Mm-hmm. So tell us, why is your passion taking you in this direction to help seniors?
Well, when I got into the handyman business back in 2005, it was really an industry looking at it such that a whole group of people are aging at that time and knowing they wouldn't be able to take care of their homes. And so I thought, well, this is an industry that's not going to be outsourced. And so people always need to be able to take care of their home, but they may not be able to do that. As well as there's a group of young people who don't know how to take care of their homes. Mm-hmm. And so there'd always be a need for someone to take care of their homes. And soon after I got into the handyman industry, I looked into a certification that the National Association of Home Builders have, which is a Certified Aging in Place Specialist, a CAPS designation. And so really wanted to learn more about how I can help people stay in their homes longer, kind of called aging in place, adaptive access, universal design, a lot of different terminologies to work with. But the whole purpose is really help people stay in their home as safely and as long as they want to.
And to be comfortable in their daily living activities.
Yes, and the more I learn about the CAPS, we talk about aging in place, mm-hmm. It can be done for anybody. At any age can benefit from this. That's what they refer to with universal design, is you build a home or you do a remodeling project for you today that is ready for you as you do age.
That's a great concept. And plus it's ready for anyone of any ability that might come into that home. And yes. So that's what makes it universal.
Exactly, of any ability, whether it be a young couple with a child that's everyone's able-bodied, mm-hmm. to someone who has maybe some different abilities.
And so you're involved with the National Association of Home Builders, you have the CAPS designation, yes. And there's a tie-in with AARP. So tell us a little bit about that.
What we learned is that AARP was wanting to put together some kind of a program to certify remodeling across the country. And so they approached the National Association of Home Builders to see, could they work together to find a way to develop some training, some program to do this. And so with that, I went through, if I remember, about 3 or 4 days of training and testing with it, all the way from how to communicate with a homeowner that is going through this different time in their life that they never had to think about it before. I mean, you hear the term grab bar, and oh my gosh, I don't need a grab bar right now. I'm not old enough yet. But how to approach that and help people understand how it's going to help them live better in their home and keep them safe and to work with. So I was a tie-in with that, and so I've continued that designation, and there's very few in Wichita that have that, and it's really just a nice designation to have to stand out and know what I'm doing and where to work with a homeowner.
We recently visited with someone that is involved on a national level, and she said it's very difficult to have contractors and builders to understand the significance and the importance of universal design, especially with the silver tsunami coming, yes. And you have all these baby boomers aging. So you might not think you need a grab bar today, but someday if you need it, you'd like it to be there. So it's about planning smartly for your future.
And you mentioned the term grab bar again, which some people dislike, and that's okay. But also realizing that when you go in your bathroom, it shouldn't look like an institution. And so many times there are ways we can use different types of grab bars, safety rails, whatever you want to call them, that can be installed and still put your towel on them. Okay. Your toilet paper dispenser can be a grab bar that doesn't really look like a grab bar, so that it's there, as you said, when you need it, because if it's not there and you fall to the floor, you wish you would have had it.
Right. And so today it's worked into the design. So it's not like your granny's grab bar. It's completely different. Now yes. It's part of the function and the livability, and that you might walk into a universally designed bathroom and not know that those special features are there.
That is the key. We had one client who had gold faucets and fixtures in her bathroom. Well, she wanted a gold colored grab bar. Fine, we were able to get that for her, install it, and now it just complements everything she has within her bathroom, and it doesn't stand out, just part of the decor.
Because it's one thing too to get the item, but it's another to know how it should be installed properly.
Yes. Yeah, and that's one thing with the grab bars. You can have, your brother or someone else in your family install it for you, but you don't want to trust that's going to hold you up.
Right.
Sometimes we see, well, especially your towel bar in your bathroom. You may have reached for that a few times, and maybe it's loose. Well, really don't someone who installed that towel bar installing a grab bar.
Right.
And so we have special tools, special items that go behind the wall that help install that grab bar where you need it, that we don't have to open up the wall, we don't have to put it in blocking or anything. So special mounts manufactured by the grab bar manufacturers that allow us to install the grab bar where you need it, not just where a stud is. As well as in a fiberglass shower wall, you push on the wall, it kind of gives a little bit. We have ways of installing it there as well safely. And when speaking of the grab bars, do not use the suction cup grab bars.
Okay.
If you read the fine print, it says meant only for stability, not to hold your weight.
A little caveat there.
Yes, I've seen those installed before or setting in place before. I said, okay, let's take care of that.
Okay. So what are some of the other things that you're putting in houses?
Really a big piece of what we do is helping you in your kitchen. We do custom slide out shelves in kitchen spaces. And really, again, it comes by anybody can benefit from it. What we find though is that those over 55, where you can get down but you can't get back up again, but you really want to use the kitchen space you have. And so with the custom slide outs, they're made to fit into your existing kitchen cabinets, and they're able to make that space more fun and easier to use.
That's what came to my mind, like with a little more joy, rather than getting down on the floor and then trying to get back up. You can use that space with a little more joy. So speaking of joy, let's meet your wife, Shelley, and find out about how she has taken on this project as well.
Very good.
Now let's meet Shelley Davis. Shelley, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
So how did Phil rope you into this?
Well, I was an educator for 17 years, and it became obvious that Harmony Home Concept, at that time, it was the best home guys and slide out shelves, was growing and he was drowning. And so I threw him the lifeline and came aboard, and we've been working together since 2021 and growing this business together.
Very good. And it's nice to work together as husband and wife sometimes. My grandparents did it. I've been doing it with my husband. How did that go, coming together as a couple and working together?
Well, it still has its challenges. We are still learning. We're vastly different, and our styles are vastly different. And so we're still learning to mesh that together. But it gets easier every day.
So you were an educator and a librarian.
Yes.
And so I find it really interesting that you're coming in to serve the senior market. And I would imagine you're doing a lot of the same things that you're educating.
Totally. And the skills of the librarian, you are running a library, that's purchasing, that's everything, and as well as meshing with the community. And so coming in to do things at Harmony Home, it's the same type of work.
It must be really fulfilling because you're making such a big difference for people so they can have more harmony and joy in their living environment and accomplish their goals to live at home where they want to be.
Exactly, and that's where the name came from. When we started, we were the best home guys, and then we rolled into slide out shelves solutions. Both of those were growing. There was 2 separate phone numbers, 2 separate emails, websites, everything. And so what our goal is to bring harmony, to make every day easier for anyone. And so that's where the name Harmony Home came, so that as you age, this next chapter of your life has a lot of stresses and a lot of things that you're encountering that you don't know how to deal with. By adding those grab bars, slide out shelves, even a new closet that makes it easier to get to your clothing.
Because most people they want to age in place, delay any possibility of moving into more of a rehabilitative or skilled nursing setting. And so if you can stay healthy and vibrant at home, and have a continuum of care plan that incorporates the same thing, so you can
Yes.
really protect your physical body
Yes.
and your well-being, so you can age your way.
Exactly, and that mental clarity, that mental comfort of a house that is safe for you. Your family also feels safer, that everything is as mom or dad needs. It's not going to be stressful. They're not going to be getting up on a step stool to get Aunt Martha's plate down. The slide outs that we've had, one sweet lady said, she was in her late 70s, told us, I didn't know I dreaded cooking dinner, but now I don't, because I can get to everything easily.
Oh, well, that's great.
And that type of harmony is what we wanted to bring for all of our seniors.
Oh, that's such a great story. And I'm also thinking that there's not a lot of harmony with adult kids if they're worried about their parents being safe.
Exactly.
And so when the parents take care of business and plan for the stage of life that they're in, and the stage of life that they're obviously moving towards, it helps create more harmony in terms of everybody just feeling more comfortable, more at ease.
Exactly.
Becoming more at ease.
Exactly. And we've got a client this week that we are installing closets. We haven't ever met the client. We've only met the son. And he's come in, he went, this is not what mom and dad need. And so began the process so that before they ever even move into their new home, it's already set up for them.
That's amazing. That's his way of loving on his
Yes.
parents to make
Yes.
sure that they are getting the accommodations that they need and
Exactly.
that they're going to be happy.
Exactly.
So what have you learned about the housing industry and just aging in general while you've been working with different people?
One of the things that we find out in our housing is houses were designed by men who didn't really think about how things were used. So when you go into a kitchen and you open it up, there's this great big cavern and a little bitty tiny shelf in the back. You have to get down on your hands and knees to get anything. As you age, that's difficult. And it just makes it difficult to be able to get in. Closets, you go in and there's a high wire rack. As you age, it's hard to reach up sometimes. And so having that 2-level closet makes it easier to get to your items.
So what would you like for seniors to realize about their current environment and how things can be adapted so that it makes it just easier to avoid accidents and to just function with your daily life?
Well, mostly think about what you use the most and make it accessible to you in your cabinets. Even if you don't have a pull-out shelf or something, think about what I use every day. Put that in the easiest access spot that you have. Also think about those things that, do I really need 3 of things? Downsize a bit so that what you need is right there and you can get to it easily.
So really give some thought to how you can minimize and be smart about it. So rather than have things filling up good spaces that you don't use, maybe get that stuff out of there and put in things that you're really needing. So really it's about being functional. How can I be functional with this part of the countertop, with this cabinet, and then go all the way around the kitchen and think about function and redo it for yourself. You know, think about how maybe if you were going to help your daughter move into her college dorm and you want to get it all perfect for her, why not think about how to do that for yourself and think about it with a fresh set of eyes. How would I change this? If I'm taking care of myself as the person I need to care for, how can I change something in every little spot of my home to make it better?
And also thinking about, am I going to need this? Am I holding it onto it just for sentimental value? And are my kids even going to want it when I'm done with it? If your answer is no, it's time to pitch it. Time to go ahead and move it out so that it doesn't take up your valuable space.
Because clutter, when you have too much stuff, it really weighs you down. It can be hazardous as well.
And it also upsets the harmony in your joy. You lose that. And so that decluttering, that making things accessible for you are the most important things for keeping that harmony in your home.
I was thinking dethatching, like you're kind of dethatching. You're pulling out the stuff that is not needed, that's not bringing life to you right now, and take out some of the old stuff that you don't need to really function. You know, when you travel and you just take a few items, it's kind of nice. It's like I have everything I need. If I need something else, I can go get it. But living with less stuff is really nice. And we just have so many things that we can accumulate over time. And so we can either take care of it ourselves or somebody's going to have to take care of it later. You might as well take care of it for yourself or get help taking care of it.
Exactly.
So that you can live in a more peaceful situation.
Exactly. And just making it so that your home is your haven, that every day is easier because I have what I need and I don't have that clutter around.
So if people are just thinking about going through this kind of editing process and removing things and getting things in good order just for daily happiness, where do you think they should start?
Probably in the room you spend the most time in. Don't go into the messiest room because that's going to be overwhelming and you'll start and you'll stop. But if you're in your family room and you look around and go, that stack of magazines has been there since 1970. Do I really need them? Those little things of clearing the space, partly to keep you safe. You know, those things that are just accumulating in piles can also be a hazard to your health. So just start small. One room, take it on, try it, see how it feels. If it doesn't feel good, then stop, try a different room.
I was just thinking, you know, we're talking about tripping hazards and things like that, but actually stacks of things will accumulate, dust and spiders and all kinds of things. And so that clearing out is such a healthy thing to do for many reasons. But I think that we have this tendency as humans to want to keep a hold of stuff. This is mine, and keep hold of stuff. But think of it just the opposite. What I'm giving myself is space. So rather than keeping stuff that I can't take with me in the end.
Right.
How about for today's peacefulness, giving yourself the gift of space, rather than pulling out a drawer you can hardly get open, pull out a drawer that there's maybe hardly not anything in it. And it's just a little more peaceful that way. It's easier to find things when there's less stuff.
And even countertops. I mean, think about our countertops get cluttered. That's a safety hazard. When you're cooking and you've got a countertop that's covered, you don't have any place to put your food that you're working on.
Right. So there's a better tendency to drop something or have an accident. And so I think sometimes the things that end up on countertops are the things that we really need, but it's just not easy to put away because we have all kinds of other stuff taking up the space, the good space. So, all right, well, very good. So what has surprised you the most about some of the homes that you've worked in so far?
I don't know that it's the homes. I think maybe it's the people. How we've had over and over going, oh, I wish I would have done it years ago. That feeling of relief that comes to them. You know, if we've done slide outs in a home, they have to empty everything out for us to come in and do it. So that's a perfect declutter time. I found out I had 4 jars of peanut butter, in the pantry. So those things of, just making decluttering kind of a monthly thing, a weekly thing, take a minute and declutter. But the joy has been working with the people that we come across.
Yeah, it sounds like it's worth it to dig into that house and make some good things happen.
That is true.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Shelley.
Thanks so much for having me.
And let's get back to our conversation with Phil. Phil, tell us a little bit more about the AARP connection.
Sure. Well, again, as I mentioned, the AARP and the National Association of Home Builders came together, but also AARP has put together this booklet that really helps an individual go through their home separately on their own, room by room, identify areas that they want to consider modifying or to be aware of their safety. And this, whenever I go in and do a consultation with a client, I take this with me and leave it behind because I don't cover everything in here. But on the backside, well, you can go to aarp.org's website /homefit, and you can get your own booklet free of charge with them.
And I know there's other good information on there as well, so that's a good way to introduce someone to all the resources at AARP. So get yourself a home fit guide one way or another,
Yes.
as part of a consult in a home, or go online. It's such a good education tool too, so that people can really sink their teeth into it well, and be thinking about protecting their future in terms of staying safe and staying where you want to be. The other thing that you do is not only help people in the home that they're in, but if they're making a move to a new home where they intend to age in place from that point.
Correct.
What are some of the common things that people might look to an aging in place contractor to add for them in a new place?
Well, many times they're downsizing into a patio home that's supposed to already be set up for them, but it may not have all the necessary requirements. And so the simple thing really is to be able to, again, the bathroom being one of the most dangerous places in the home. The simple thing there of adding grab bars, safety rails. If you don't have a zero entry home, just installing railing on the front, or as you're walking into the garage, maybe a simple grab bar, just stepping through the threshold in that area. I was also in another home that had a sunroom off the side of their patio home, okay? Well, the sunroom also had sliding glass doors to close it off from the rest of the house. But sure enough, there was tracks on the floor where the sliding glass door had to go across. I'm like, we need to put some ramps in place here, just very shallow, to make sure you don't trip over that threshold there. So just different things that even some builders may not be aware of, that, oh, it's just a sliding glass door, but how can we make it safer?
Because accidents in the home, no one wants that. And so that's what we're working to prevent, and just making the home a more joyful place.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the work that you're doing in our community. It's good to know there's people like you that can be found maybe throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. And so thank you for your study and your dedication, and for being on the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And thank you so much for watching. If you have questions about this topic or anything that we cover, we hope you'll reach out at 316-686-4500 or email us at empoweringseniors@kpts.org. I'm Katherine Ambrose, and I'll see you on the next Empowering Seniors.